Hello, good morning. Welcome to Breakfast with Sarah Campbell and Roger Johnson.
Our headlines today. Police and rioters clash in the French city of Marseille as the country battles with a fifth night of unrest.
The boss of NHS England says that children and adults are being bombarded with gambling adverts as more addiction clinics are opened to deal with demand.
In sport, England need a captain's innings from Ben Stokes as they try to stay in the Ashes. It's after another day of Australian dominance at Lord's with both the bat and the ball.
And is curling the next victim of the cost of living crisis? There are concerns for the future of the sport as ice rinks close due to energy costs.
Good morning. The weather is looking bright and breezy today, a bit fresher than it was this stage yesterday morning. And we've got some showers in the forecast, but they'll mainly be towards the north. I'll have a full forecast coming up shortly.
Morning to you then. It's Sunday the 2nd of July. Our main story today, more than 400 people have been arrested overnight in France as police and rioters clashed during a fifth night of unrest.
Many French cities have descended into chaos since Tuesday following the fatal shooting of a teenager by police. In Marseille, officers were seen using tear gas against protesters.
In Toulouse this morning, that's our main story on Breakfast on this Sunday morning as you're waking up. But there's lots more going on, of course. Let's get up to date with it all. Sarah has all the details.
Thanks, Roger. NHS England is nearly doubling its number of gambling addiction clinics after referrals hit a record high. 7 new facilities will open this summer amid warnings that children and adults are being bombarded with gambling adverts. Russia has launched an overnight drone attack on Kyiv for the first time in nearly 2 weeks. Ukrainian military officials say the city's air defences destroyed all targets, but there's no information yet about the scale of the attack. New laws aimed at curbing protest methods used by environmental activists come into force today. Police will have the power to move protesters who disrupt transport networks, and offenders could face 3 years in jail for such tactics, like digging makeshift tunnels. Critics have argued that the tightening of the law threatens the right to protest. The European Space Telescope has embarked on a 1 million-mile journey to uncover some of the biggest mysteries of the universe. The Euclid spacecraft was launched from Florida yesterday on a mission to make a huge 3D map of the cosmos. Our reporter, David Lum, has the story.
Welcome back. Breakfast today with Sally and John.
It is 6:30 exactly now. It's tough enough, isn't it, to find somewhere to rent at the moment. Soaring prices, rising interest rates and really intense competition for properties.
But it might be getting even tougher because new research from the BBC this morning shows that some landlords are using the surge in demand to say that children and pets are not welcome in many rental homes. Ben is looking at this for us this morning. Hi, Ben. What can you tell us?
Morning. As you say, rents going up, costs going up. It's really tough to find a property that's both suitable and affordable, and for some people it's even tougher. It seems there may be further obstacles for people who are looking to rent. New research by the BBC has analysed 8,000 adverts posted on 2 leading property websites over 4 days in May, and here's what it found, some really stark figures. Nearly a quarter of the adverts on one website, popular with landlords, specifically discouraged families from renting. Meanwhile, look at this, another 300 went as far as to specifically state that children were not wanted, although that is under 1% of the adverts on that particular site. And pets, they're no better either. Yes, Sally, it is the UK's second largest supermarket, so these results tell us a lot about how rising food costs are affecting us and how we shop. They show that between April and June, overall sales were up by 9.8% compared with the same period the year before. Drill down and you find that was driven by grocery sales. They were up 11% in that 3-month period. And with high food prices, people are turning to own brand, cheaper options. Sales of those at Sainsbury's grew by 13%. Now, supermarkets across the board have come under pressure to do something about rising prices. We as shoppers have seen grocery bills soar over the past.
Look at them, sort of work out who they are. Generally send some info to Hilary Chalice, who does the main research, or Jane Robinson, who finds the families. and they'll give me an idea of what, how, who, when. I'll have already gained permission from the cemetery owner, which is generally a council or a vicar, and then I'll go through the cleaning process. We try and contact the family. I call up, say you haven't won the lottery.
From our science correspondent, David Gregory Kumar. He has been to meet someone who has invested in the eco-friendly heating option.
As a country, of delivering these at cheaper prices.
And they need, in order to work most efficiently, I suppose like any heating system, they need a well-insulated property, don't they? And lots of us don't have well-insulated properties in this country.
Yeah.
See it outside. I mean, it is quite a big structure, isn't it? It's a big old unit. I mean, could every house, if they haven't got a lot of outside space, perhaps this isn't for them?
It's a really, really good point. All of these complications around barriers to getting heat.
There's an increased level of inquiries. They think that things will pick up. And if people want to get one of these grants in order to explore it, you just go onto the government website, don't you? And search.
You do.
Joins us now. Morning.
Hi, hello.
Bringing a lot of history with you. Tell us about the story that you've uncovered.
Well, it was in 2015 that I first went to Vienna. It was my daughter's idea. She was a teenager at the time, and she said, we don't know anything about our heritage, our Austrian heritage. Herman's grandmother went on to play, she was younger, and my grandmother played for just before the war and then just...
Now as well. And you can read his full investigation online. That's at bbc.co.uk/news. Right, the time is 6:05. What else do we need to know this morning? Sally has more of today's news.
Now, the wife and mother of Shahzada and Sulaiman Dawood, who died on the submersible which imploded while exploring the wreck of the Titanic, has told the BBC that she was originally supposed to be on... He's still standing, I'm standing, so's Carol. Morning, Carol.
Good morning, Sal. Good morning to you too. And phew, what a scorcher it was yesterday. In fact, we had a temperature reaching 32.2 Celsius in Coningsby in Lincolnshire. Now this week, it is going to turn much fresher in the south. So Sal and John, it's all changed this week. What we would expect is British weather.
Exactly, and it's nice of you to tie in the orange with the colours around you as well, Carol. That's very thoughtful of you.
I'd like to say, John, it's all my own work.
It's not. I like your new weather map. Very, very posh.
You know, I'm used to being in a broom cupboard to do the weather in the mornings, so it's so nice to actually be able to walk over and walk back. It's a whole new world for me.
It is. It's lovely to have you here, Carol. Thank you.
Thank you.
You've got the support of your kids, isn't it?
I know. It's embarrassing, isn't it, for him?
Can we talk about Andy Murray? It's Wimbledon. It's so nice to see him back and playing. What are his sort of prospects?
10 years on from the first time that he won it.
Wow, 10
yeah.
years.
We've got another very special historic Wimbledon story coming up for you in a couple of minutes.
Yeah, before that, let's get the headlines where you're waking up this morning.